What up, y'all? Welcome to a new episode of the CathARTic System podcast. I'm your host, Raven J. Poole. This week's episode topic is forgiving yourself. And with this episode, it's probably one of my hardest struggles towards my own personal journey within healing. Because trauma and addiction often tends to lead to a lot of self-hatred, guilt, self-blame, and shame. And it's just human nature for someone to turn against themselves if life has been too hard or treated badly. With forgiving yourself being such a difficult part of the healing process, it is important that you are able to recognize what exactly you need to forgive yourself for. You may need to forgive yourself for what you did, for what you didn't do, maybe a crime you committed, failing your child or family, what you did to your body, what you didn't know, bad judgment, poor decisions, feelings that you are ashamed of, how your body responded, addiction problems, trauma problems, not measuring up, wasting time, or what you may have lost. What is it that you are aware of that you have a challenge with to forgive yourself? One reason for myself on why forgiveness is a challenge is because oftentimes I will always hear that you need to forgive, oftentimes without even the acknowledgments of the wrongdoing. To hear you need to forgive more than the importance of acknowledging the feelings is like an invalidation of one's feelings. It's like I've been told to forgive without the proper explanations of why it's important. I lack the truth behind what forgiveness really meant. Sometimes I think just telling someone to forgive and pray about it is a cop-out, because either they don't know what else to say or they're used to masking the details in work. Faith without work is dead, they say. So while having some sort of faith and prayer is important, that's not all that is needed. We have to stop expecting God to always give, but we refuse to move and take actions. I mean, what good does it do for a person if they claim to have faith but does not prove it with the actions? Faith alone cannot save. It needs the actions to prove. Instead of just telling someone to have faith or forgive, why don't you try explaining what it is and what it isn't? Provide some proof. That being said, to forgive yourself just means coming to terms with what happened and doing your best to make the future better than the past. It doesn't mean that you like what happened or that it was right, or that you would make the same choices again. It doesn't mean you forgive others for what they did to you. It only means that you are making peace with your part. It is letting go of the resentment towards yourself. You can respect that you were who you were at the time and always have the capacity to grow moving forward. Is it about discovering some new truths about yourself that can help you gain some new insight and clarity to help you be able to release some of those things? A key factor to forgiveness is acceptance of what you did or didn't do. The ability to let yourself feel it. Really feel it. Forgiveness feels like you're there for yourself, and not in a false way like I'm always right, but in a quiet way that accepts the full truth of what happened. Now, to let yourself feel forgiveness may be painful, awkward, or uncomfortable at first, but don't give up, because that discomfort will just melt into a larger awareness. A way to help yourself with it is to try channeling yourself towards helping others. It can also help to face forward and contribute to any type of mission that allows you to offer something good to the world that is meaningful to you. But if you do choose to take that route of paying it forward to help with your forgiveness, just remember to stay focused on a healthy balance and not to let it become too much that you lose your sense of self in your own life. And if a reason why it's hard for you to forgive yourself is because you may have hurt others in the past, then you can and should apologize if it is safe to do so, that is. It's really about holding yourself accountable, but don't forget to have compassion for yourself, just like we discussed in the previous episode. Speaking of previous episode, we have ended that episode with you really don't need to forgive to recover. Forgiving others is an option, but never a requirement. Besides, forgiveness only happens when it's genuine. And if you don't have to forgive others, and you don't have to forgive others whom hurt you. unless, of course, you have reached it in a genuine way. Forgiveness cannot be forced, and despite what others may say, it's not necessary for healing. Forcing or being pushed into forgiveness when you are not ready can just cause more damage. Forgiveness is really a personal choice, and everyone is different. It may take some years, even decades, to decide whether or not you want to forgive or not. Remember that forgiving others is not the goal or the end point of your recovery work. If it happens, it happens, but if not, you can still heal. You can still make progress. It's always a personal choice. But to forgive yourself, now that is the key. Otherwise, there will always be some part of your past that is always holding you back. For this week's assignment, I would like for you to think of someone you know who cares about you and is also generally good. It can be a parent, friend, teacher, mentor, spiritual advisor, or higher power. Now explore an imaginary conversation with that person about your difficulty forgiving yourself. What is it that you would say to that person? What is it that that person would say to you? What do you want to hear from that person? What type of feelings would they convey towards you? And remember, whatever you've done before, accept it and let it go. You are not perfect. You are capable of making mistakes. Mistakes are just new opportunities to grow. They're never losses, just lessons. Stop hiding from the shadows of the past. Don't be trapped in the darkness of shattered memories. It's okay to let the light pass through and shine upon you. Forgive yourself because it's how you allow yourself to start again. Well, that concludes this episode. Thank you all who listened, and may you radiate at a higher vibration. Peace, love, and happiness to all. Signing out. This is Zai.